not in Kansas anymore.
You have my curiosity.
Are you telling me you built a time machine?
The Force will be with you. Assemble.
Welcome back to Get Real, the podcast where we get real about all of our favourite pop culture films and TV shows. I am Chris, and with me as always is my breaking news broadcast reporter, Sam.
What's that, Chris? What's that?
What's that
smell? It smells like a big old news dump.
It smells like a big old dump of some news.
Oh, God.
Oh,
what's it doing?
It reminds me of being near the tip.
What's it doing in the podcast studio, Chris?
On the floor. Really, news? Really? In the house?
Roos Loomer. You can't get rid of him. We try to give him the airtime on this episode every single week, and he comes in and does something like this.
Oh, he took a big old Roos Loomer news dump all over the floor.
One day, Roos Loomer, we will get you.
Curses!
Anyway,
Shakes fist at ceiling.
Unexpected way to start it, but here we are. How you doing, mate? You okay?
I'm good, mate. I'm good. How are you?
Another week, another podcast. I'm doing all right.
Ah, bro. We actually saw each other face to face from like a socially distant thing this week. That was weird.
Yes, I signed an autograph for you.
You did.
Yes,
and I stole that autograph and I signed him up for lots of things that he doesn't want.
Oh dear.
He's now paying my mortgage.
That's
he doesn't know yet.
That's what all this spam junk mail is, signing me up for stuff that I don't want to say on the podcast.
Male adult diapers.
Yeah, exactly. Localescorts.com. What the hell's this? If you've got a junk file in your email, you know.
Yeah. Oh, what's this premium P-Hub account?
Anyway, swiftly moving on.
Sam, what have you been watching this week?
What have I been watching this week? Right,
what have you been watching?
I listened to the beginning of our last week's episode just to refresh myself on what I did watch last week. So, I have finished The Man in the High Castle. It is done. Yeah, I didn't realise that it was actually cancelled recently, or when the final season finished. That was going to be the final season going into it. It kind of leaves on like a bit of a, like something a little bit open-ended. I don't really know what I'd compare it to. Maybe a bit like, just where it feels like there's, when you were like, right, next season's going to be really good, and then you realise there's not going to be a next season. That kind of thing.
I'm so excited for...
Yeah, it's pretty weird. I won't say what happens or anything, just in case there's anyone listening who's like decided to start watching it or anything, because I do highly recommend it. It's a bit of a Dexter-ish ending, like where the actual series is really good all the way through, in my opinion, anyway. And then you have this ending that's just a bit like, they kind of knew they had to wrap a lot of stuff up really quick.
Yeah, real sudden ending. Instead of having like another full season, they're like, oh, we've only got like a certain amount of episodes left, quick.
Yeah, there was a lot of satisfaction from it though, so I can't, at the same time, like some of the things that did happen were good. But yeah, that's that.
It's like the How I Met Your Mother ending, where it's like, you find out just as you start filming the final season that you've only got that one season left, and it's like, oh shit, we're on the last season, we haven't even introduced the mother.
Yeah.
So she just gets sidelined to 2 fucking episodes at the end.
Speaking of stuff like that, I've also been watching The Office US as well. I've been watching season 7 with my girlfriend and season 1 by myself, so I'm catching up with where I've been watching to kill a bit of time.
Must be a little bit weird, that.
Yeah, it is. It's like I keep seeing Steve Carell more recently, and then I keep seeing him like from literal years ago. But yeah, no.
I don't think season 1 was the best season for me. From what I remember like season 2 was where it found its footing. Sort of like when it left the UK office behind.
Yeah,
season 1's pretty much just a rip off of the UK office.
Yeah, I'm up to the bit in. When I'm watching the newer seasons where it was the Dwight who has a wig for everyone in the office, and it's such an iconic moment. And I was like, I can't believe
What's
that.
the ginger one's name? What's her name?
Oh, she's not. Is it Ginger? Are you on about Meredith? The redhead one. Yeah. It's so funny.
That gif of him turning around wearing Meredith's wig is phenomenal.
It's honestly so iconic, and I can't believe that was only at like season 7. But no, yeah, I love the US Office. That's just what I've been binging in the background, so I don't really need to mention that again next week. What else did I watch? I watched Blade Runner 2049, which was good.
Yes.
And then I'm sure there was one more thing. I watched Outside the Wire. I mentioned that already. Watched Blade Runner 2049. Ooh, I know what I can tell you what I've watched. I finally watched Sonic the Hedgehog.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was on my to-watch list whilst lockdown's on, and I finally gave it a watch. And you know what?
What did you think?
I thought it was actually all right, to be fair.
Much better than it needed to be, or anyone was expecting it to be.
You know what? Much better than what it needed to be is exactly the right way of saying it. That's, yeah, spot on.
I was expecting it to be dog trash going into it, and I left it. I was like, you know what? I don't feel like a waste of my time. I feel like that was like a fun laugh. Like, Jim Carrey needs to be in the sequel more.
Yeah, I thought it was better than... I watched Onward, and I thought it was better than Onward, to be fair. That might be a bit of a controversial thing to say up top. And,
those people who Disney is their entire personality, we got about 50 of them typing up angry emails to us now. How dare you? Sonic the Hedgehog is not better than Onward.
No, I don't know. I just felt like maybe because it was Jim Carrey playing Dr. Robotnik, I think he carried that film proper. Like, really carried it.
I think his moments were definitely like the funniest bits.
Oh, there was some really... The bit about breastfeeding when he's at that guy's door. And he says, well, I was breastfed. And he goes, nice. It's like so good. Yeah, his timing's just amazing. And also, when you remember when you really think about it and you think, that is Jim Carrey playing Dr. Robotnik. And when you think about that for a second... Yeah.
Like, it just seems like the perfect casting, doesn't it? Like,
it seems like a weird role that you just wouldn't think he'd enjoy, but he just seems like he has a lot of fun on screen with it. So
I feel like it let him let loose, which a lot of roles that he's done lately haven't. Like, he was able to do like the Mask style antics.
Yeah, it's like he's coming.
Which I feel like the character probably wasn't written like that, but as soon as they cast Jim Carrey, they're like, okay, here's the script. Do whatever you want.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's a good way of looking at it. And then that's it. What have you been watching, mate?
Just the MCU. On the MCU rewatch still. So we finished Captain Marvel last night. We're watching Endgame straight after this podcast with a pizza. We're going to watch Endgame. I'm so fucking excited for it. Especially now after rewatching everything. I'm pumped for Endgame. I'm pumped for those payoffs.
Yeah.
Just like, give me Cap catching Mjolnir any day of the week, and it'll just brighten my mood. What else? WandaVision. We haven't spoken about this for a couple of weeks now because of when we recorded the podcast. We're on episode 4 now. That came out today.
We're doing this a little bit different this time because when we did The Mandalorian, we were talking about The Mandalorian every single week. And what we're doing is we did our first impressions episode, which go check it out. But instead, we're going to do like a roundup. So we'll do like a first impressions of like the first, like say 1-2 episodes, like we did with Snowpiercer. And then, that's what I've also watched. I've been watching Snowpiercer.
Oh, yeah.
Snowpiercer's back. It's we got our predictions right. It was Sean Bean as Wilfred.
Yeah. That like voice was unmistakable. We knew who it was.
Yeah,
straight away. Just a gentle northern bloke.
But yeah, we'll then round it up once the season's done. So then we'll actually do our WandaVision episode. But yeah,
what do we think? Because we won't go too deep into the little things. But what did you think of the last 2 episodes, episode 3 and 4?
Ooh, I really liked the ending of the last episode.
Episode
really
4.
Liked it. Not the ending of this episode, the ending of the one before.
Episode 3, so the one where, spoiler alert, she has the children.
Yeah, that one. Yeah. But then it goes a little bit dark. I kind of like that.
Yes.
And I liked how this new, latest episode kind of like took the time to kind of establish what's going on and kind of answered a lot of questions, which was good.
I enjoyed the way the title of the episode was a break from our regular scheduled broadcast.
Yeah,
Because like
so
that's
good.
literally what it is. Like even the episode name is smart, but yeah, some much needed answers for a lot of people. I love what's the character's name? Freddie Wong, is it?
Freddie Wu.
Freddie Wu, sorry. Freddie Wong is the YouTuber.
I don't think it's
Freddie
actually...
Wu.
You carry on. I don't think it's Freddie, but you have a little look. I'll double check.
Oh, I think he says he wants to name his kid a little Freddie Wu. I think isn't it like Jimmy Woo or something?
Jimmy Woo. Yeah, I think it's Jimmy Woo.
I think he said he wants like a kid and call him Freddie.
Yeah, it's Jimmy Woo. That's right.
He's writing on the board, and I'm like, that's literally like every like casual fan's questions about the show is like, why hexagons? Why sitcoms? Why this? Why that? Why the other?
Scrolls question mark.
It's literally just like he literally was just the casual viewer in that moment, writing everything on a whiteboard, just there like, don't worry, we understand you're confused at the moment too.
Yeah. Or we need to talk about this after the podcast. Just remind me before you shoot off. We need to talk about something after the podcast.
Okay. There was a lot of good little Easter eggs to the comic books and stuff like that. We got details on Monica Rambeau's backstory, what's been happening, and I loved the way it linked back into Endgame as well. It gave us some like more fleshed out like what happened after the third snap. Second snap? It was the second snap. No, it would have been the third snap because the second one destroyed the stones, didn't it?
Lost.
Holy shit! There's too many snaps in those films now. When people came back, anyway.
Yeah.
Yes, I think it's great when we talk about it more in depth because I don't want to get into too many spoilers in the first 10 minutes of the podcast.
Yeah, I think we should probably move on. Let's talk about it.
But it's so good.
It's
WandaVision
good,
is amazing.
Yeah,
what else have I been watching? Riverdale's back for season 5, baby.
And you've been watching it.
The trash show that I can't give up. It's honestly, it's so bad, but it knows how campy and cheesy it is, so it leans into it, and it just makes it just like I can't stop watching it. And like I've got like a certain group of friends that all watch it as well, and we just like watch it and trash talk it afterwards. It's great.
I feel like it's not like the final season.
They've not announced it's the final season.
No, I just feel like it probably should be.
I feel like season 1, episode 1 should have been the final season. No, do you know what? Final season should have been season 2 when they decided that the killer was Betty's dad and not Sheriff Keller, because they set it up all season for it to be Sheriff Keller, and then they were just there like, it's Betty's dad. Okay, he brought up as a religious zealot, and now he's a murderer.
Incredible, big topic.
Yeah, what else have I been watching? I finished Disney's Imagineering for the second time.
Yeah,
I've just been watching so much about
that.
the theme parks.
Saw your bits in that on the group. I really want to delve into that. I'm back
if
working
you've not
from
watched
next
it,
week, so I'm going to probably throw it on in the background.
Oh, it's so good. I've watched it twice now, and like it's just fascinating seeing like the inner workings of the theme parks and stuff like that. And like at the moment, I've been watching like loads of YouTube about the parks as well. I'm just like, I just really want to go back to Disneyland. I went to Disney Paris, but I want to go to Walt Disney World in Florida.
We should do a road trip with the pods and our girlfriends because they will want to come too.
A group trip to Florida would be pretty sick.
Mate, it would actually be more cost effective, I believe.
If we get like a big Airbnb, it definitely would.
Yeah.
Anyway, sidetracker aside, what else? That's it, really. Actually, yeah. Everything else that I've spoke about in previous weeks, stuff that I'm just trying to get through. Cool. So yeah, onto the news, onto the big old news dump.
Is there a trailer before we talk about news? Because I feel like the news dump should probably be the main topic.
There's quite a few trailers.
There's quite a few trailers. All right, I'll let you take it away, and then I'll start the news.
First of all, that we can both talk about because it came out after we recorded the last episode. Godzilla vs. Kong.
Oh, yeah.
This was the big trailer.
Kong's been eaten. Kong has been eaten.
Kong got strong.
He is swole, bro.
He's literally like doubled his size. So he's fighting the fuck out of Godzilla.
So last week we had seen like that little teaser, like trailer before the trailer thing, didn't we? And then the full trailer. So, do you want to talk about that bit of the trailer that definitely is Mechagodzilla, or do you want me
Definitely
to
Mechagodzilla.
It's absolutely Mechagodzilla.
So you said, "Oh, there's rumors that it's Mechagodzilla," and I was like, "I don't want it to be Mechagodzilla. I just want the two of them to fight." But the more I think about it, the more I just want to see Mechagodzilla at the same time.
It has got to be Mechagodzilla. That I'm telling you right now, that first shot in the trailer where there's those people running away, that is 100% Mechagodzilla. That I'm
Big red
calling
glowy
it now.
eyes.
Yeah, I'm calling it now because
We had the shot in like a control room, and it says something about like like powering up or loading or something on the screen behind him, and it definitely looks like a robot version of Godzilla on the screen.
yeah, and also I mean, if you're looking at systems and then there's a blue outline, and then it's got like little
That's the
red bits
one,
in it,
yeah.
that is definitely you've not got that information on Godzilla. Surely that's gotta be Mechagodzilla. But in other
I'm
news,
wondering
it's
if
quite
maybe we've got it the wrong way round. Maybe because we think it's going to be like a classic versus, like, oh, they fight for a bit and then they team up. What if it's the other way around, and like maybe you got like Godzilla versus Mechagodzilla like at the beginning, but then Godzilla just kind of goes on a tear, so then they bring in Kong to take down Godzilla after that fight.
I mean, that would be a good little way of. I mean, because it almost seems too obvious now that it's after what it's put in the.
Yeah.
It almost seems like it'd be too obvious.
So you were texting me when this trailer dropped, and I was like half an hour late to the trailer dropping. And you were like, "Oh my god, Mechagodzilla, blah blah blah." I was like, "Bro, how did you not talk about the fact that King Kong has made a giant blue glowing atomic battle axe from one of the spines of Godzilla?"
Yeah,
that
kinda.
shot of him jumping through Neo Tokyo or Shanghai or Hong Kong. I'm not sure where it is. I'm gonna guess maybe Tokyo, because the ties to the original Godzilla films being Japanese, maybe.
Yeah, he's doing
like,
a real Thor moment, isn't he?
Yeah, literally like launching Stormbreaker at Thanos. Like, maybe he'll go for the head, maybe he'll go for Godzilla's head. But that shot, I was like, sign me the fuck up. Like, I don't care if there's no plot in this film. I would just watch that shot on loop for 2 hours.
I'm gonna post some stuff on about, because I've got some photos, so I'm gonna post them up on our Instagram.
On the socials.
Yeah, I'll post them up on the socials so everyone can have like a little look and see the comparisons that we're making here between the shots, because it's a hot topic at the minute, really, I'd say. Also, there's been some toy
Hot Topic
leaks.
the shop.
Hot Topic, definitely not Hot Topic the shop. Remember, it's more like like Pulp. You remember Pulp?
Oh, Pulp was just the British watered down version of Hot Topic, is what it was.
There's also been some
spent
toy
so much money
leaks
there as
for the
emo
Godzilla
kid.
vs Kong toys that have showed up on eBay, amazingly. You've got a Godzilla, you've got a Kong, you've got a Warbat, which is looks like a bit like a Minoc from Star Wars. Looks a bit weird. You've got a Skullcrawler that was in Kong and originally, those things through the desert. And then you've got a look at what could be Hellhawk. I don't know what Hellhawk is.
I don't remember the name.
I don't think it's like one of the big ones. It's not like a Mothra or anything, but yeah.
No, it looks like a Cthulhu version of the creatures from the first Godzilla film.
Yeah. I like I said, I don't know it at all. It must be
Name doesn't ring a bell.
Hellhawks are it's on the Wikizilla, the Kaiju Encyclopedia. It says here Hellhawks are winged creatures, so plural, who will appear in 2021 film Godzilla vs Kong. Must be what the bloody skull crawlers are for for Godzilla, maybe. You know, like small little creatures.
Yeah. It's just so obvious that it's Mechagodzilla in there at some point.
I know. When you look at everything all together, it's almost like painfully obvious.
Also, there's more spoilers in like the toy range. I'm seeing images now, and I'm seeing them laid over the top of each other. There's like a giant standee with like loads of different toys in it. Let me go back and find it again because I clicked on too many things afterwards.
So why are you looking at
it
that?
It looks like we've got Mechagodzilla and then normal Godzilla maybe wearing some sort of armor on its back.
Maybe to fight off Mechagodzilla?
Maybe?
Don't know. Or maybe they turn Godzilla into Mechagodzilla and that's what Kong's doing, and maybe the trailer's a fake out this whole time.
Oh.
Anyway,
like how the Endgame stuff had like Thor with 2 eyes and stuff. Just yeah.
I mean, it's a stretch, but
There's literally there's a toy collection line here, which is where we got the Hellhawk stuff from. And it's got like Kong fighting Mecha Godzilla, and then behind him is Godzilla with some sort of red armor on his back.
yeah, it's gonna be. Anyway, we've spoken about Godzilla for quite a bit. So, what's the other trailers that we've had?
Okay, other trailers. We had
Also,
a new one for Raya and the Last Dragon.
Big Monsters is going to be a good big time, but it's just a shame you're going to watch it on a small screen at home on HBO Max.
Oh,
Yikes! Anyway,
yikers.
Sorry, what was you saying?
Raya and the Last Dragon. You know, the
looks
Disney
good.
film that's coming up.
Yeah, it looks
We
good.
got a full-length trailer. Yeah, this does look good. So you get in like War and Factions. We got Aquafina playing the Last Dragon. We've seen what that looks like now. And all I could think whenever I saw that character on screen, have you seen Big Mouth yet?
I've not, no.
Oh, it reminds me of the female hormone demon from that. Like, she looks and sounds just like it. And it was kind of off-putting for me. I was like, this is a nice, innocent kids film. And all I can think is, like, a seductive hormone cartoon monster from an adult cartoon. It's just off-putting. You've got babies and monkeys pulling off heists for, like, dragon crystals.
Okay.
It looks crazy, but this looks like such a good film. Like, I can't wait for this to drop.
I reckon this is going to get an absolute shed load of support from Star Wars fans as well that were on the side of Kelly Marie Tran throughout like the whole
Definitely.
Last Jedi and Rise of Skywalker debacle. So I think it's gonna be a good time.
I think this is going to get a lot of support as well because it's what the second Asian protagonist that we've had, really, for Disney. We had Mulan and we've had Raya now. So I think it's definitely going to get a lot of traction. This is launching in cinemas and on Disney Plus with a paid premium membership on the same day. What day was it? I think it was March 4th or something.
Something
Doing
like
a
that. Somewhere
speedy
near
Google. Doing a speedy Google. It was March 4th. I was right. Don't
Well
doubt
remembered.
yourself. Okay, after that, we've got a real-life film. Have you ever heard of Silk Road, the website?
No, but I know what the Silk Road is in terms of real life knowledge.
Okay, well, Silk Road was also a dark web website. Basically, it was the Amazon of drugs and firearms and everything like that.
Okay.
It's basically the real-life story of the essentially teenager that started that business and the FBI trying to track him down and everything like that.
It's got
so
Jason
it's a super...
Clarke in it.
Yeah. It's got the kid from Love, Simon in the lead role. He's not a kid now. That sounds like what's the word? Not demoralizing. Belittling him. He's not a kid. But like this seems like a crazy over the top story about the FBI. Like, but fair play. If you're interested in dark web shenanigans, it'll be an interesting watch. Crisis. This is a film
About the video game?
no, not about the video game, although that would be cool. A Crisis movie would... Right, somebody make it right now. Okay? Somebody make Crisis the movie, because that's all I can think of now that Sam said this. No, it's about the opioid crisis in America, which nobody wants to fucking talk about, even though it's one of the worst things happening in America right now. It basically follows a load of different people impacted by the opioid crisis in different ways, and like a CIA, FBI trying to go undercover inside of opioid drug businesses and stuff like that. And Evangeline Lilly is in this as well, and she plays like a distraught mother, like trying to get vengeance for her son that is involved in it, and it was used to peddle drugs and stuff like that. So completely different character for Evangeline Lilly. This had a massive cast. It's got Gary Oldman in there. It's got Armie Hammer in there. So this film's going to be big. Lily Rose Depp is in it. Luke Evans is in it.
They've not edited
Sam
Armie
Worthington,
Hammer.
Michelle Rodriguez.
They've not edited Armie Hammer out of the film, no, because of
No, not at the moment.
absolute off the rails.
We discussed that after the podcast last time, and we're going to keep it off the podcast.
it off
Greg
the
Kinnear's in it as well.
Yeah.
But this film actually looked like really good. Like the performances looked like quite good in this. And like I said, like I'm interested to see Evangeline Lilly in more things where she plays like a different type of character, especially now after watching all the MCU stuff and seeing her as the Wasp. I just want to see her in more stuff.
Awesome.
And the final one is The Courier, Benedict Cumberbatch. True story again. We're getting lots of true stories. Benedict Cumberbatch is a marketing courier who gets picked up by the British Secret Service and becomes like an informant in KGB Cold War Russia. It's got Jessie Buckley playing his wife in it, which her career has blown up in the last 2 years since she did Wild Rose. Benedict Cumberbatch is great in anything. I think he really suits like mid 20th century period pieces. I think he's great in them.
Yeah.
So fair play. That's definitely going to be trying to push for some awards, I think, next year maybe, or maybe it still will be validated for this year's awards. I don't know what the cut-off date with award season being pushed back and stuff. So fuck knows. And there was also one for Barb and Star go to Visa Del Mar. I felt
like that was the true journalist in you then that spoke out when you said fuck knows.
Fuck knows what's happening. That's literally every journalist at the moment, isn't it? Like, we don't know what's happening in the world.
Yeah, exactly.
We also got a very short trailer for Barb and Star go to Visa Del Mar, which is Kristen Wiig and another female actress. It basically just looks like an extended Saturday Night Live sketch, and I was watching it, I was like, oh. Like, it looks like there's no plot other than two crazy middle-aged women go on a holiday. It's basically like if you got two of the Golden Girls and put them in like a holiday resort.
Incredible.
It looked awful. I'll be honest with you. So yeah, that's trailers.
Right. So news. I remembered now. That was a big roller coaster of emotions. Before we move on, not in terms of trailers, but just some stuff that has come out this week that's pretty interesting. I don't know whether you remembered it from a couple of episodes, but you spoke about a trailer for The Dig. That's out on Netflix now, if you want to watch that.
Okay, cool.
And also, The White Tiger looks really good.
I've seen a lot of trailers for that. It does look good.
Probably going to watch that this weekend. So I don't know whether we maybe want to do an episode on that next week, you know. And
I don't know. Maybe if you watch it before I do, let me know what you think and see if it's worth an episode, and then I can watch it if it is necessary.
Sounds good.
Because I've got a list of other things that I'm planning on watching this weekend.
Big news?
Let's get onto this big old news dump because there's so much news happened this week.
Okay, let's do this. So, where do we start, Chris? Do you want me to just pick a story and we'll just go as we go along, or should we?
Yeah.
Tell you what, there's lots of casting this week. Let's talk about casting.
Okay.
So, the first casting that I want to mention about is a particular. Do you remember a certain actress playing a certain Vault Hunter in a certain Borderlands movie that's coming out?
I think you mean Thor Ragnarok's own Hela herself, Cate Blanchett, being cast as possibly Lilith?
Yes, everyone probably thinks so. I don't know whether that's been confirmed. I can't remember. It was a while ago since
I think she was cast as a siren, but I don't think it was 100% said Lilith, but a lot of people are like, Lilith would be the best siren for her to play.
Yes. Anyway, the news is that Kevin Hart has been cast in the old Borderlands movie as well.
Now, we spoke about this yesterday on your live stream, because Sam streams now at twitch.tv.
Don't tell them what. Don't tell them. No, it's too nerdy for this. It's too nerdy for the podcast.
It's not too nerdy. We're talking about a Borderlands
I've already
movie.
got one friend from work that's on there. I don't want anybody else.
Right. So. It's good. Go check him out. But we discussed this anyway, and I feel like he's going to be cast as Claptrap.
Now, you said this, and I kind of agree with you. I think it is more than likely that he will be playing Claptrap.
But then we both said we're not exactly too pleased about this. Like, I like Kevin Hart as like a comedian, a stand-up comedian. He's great, and I think he is good, but I don't think he can carry a film by himself. He always needs somebody else to play off as. And I just feel like as the voice of Claptrap, he's going to be unbearable. And Claptrap for me is like the best part of the games.
Now, I always feel that Claptrap's voice. Now, we're only assuming that he's playing Claptrap because there's absolutely no confirmation of who he's playing. That's just our hot guess at the minute. But if he is playing Claptrap, I just think Claptrap's got such a iconic personality and voice in the Borderlands games that why don't you just get the guy who plays Claptrap?
That's literally what I was about to say. Like, why don't you just get him back?
do it? He would absolutely do it, 100%.
But it's because they want all the big names attached to the film. They want like massive names attached to it, and they can be like, "Oh, we've got a comedic robot voiced by a comedian." Like, obviously, like I don't want to bring race into it and stuff like that, but we're thinking about like the characters from the Borderlands franchise, and we know that it's going to have established characters that we already know in it and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So if he is going to be a Vault Hunter, I think the only black Vault Hunter that we've had is Roland. Black male Vault Hunter that we've had is Roland. And Kevin Hart really does not suit the Roland type. Like, Roland is just like the straight guy soldier.
Yeah.
He's not the comedic foil at all. And like, you definitely need a comedian to pull off Claptrap. If you're not going to get the original guy, you need somebody with comedic timing and like funny wits about him. But I feel like
I don't know.
Kevin Hart's characters are mostly just like shouting to be funny a lot of the time, and that's not who Claptrap is.
Yeah, I mean, Kevin Hart, don't worry, no doubt carries a comedic presence, but I just don't think it's Claptrap. It's like if you watch Jumanji and you see him in Jumanji, I just don't think he carries. I don't think that's what I want from the Claptrap. I don't know. Might watch it.
That's literally what I'm thinking. I'm thinking like Ride
awesome.
Along and Ride Along 2 as well. It's like most of his jokes are just, what? And I was like, that's not Claptrap in the slightest.
The other thing is that they may also, although we have Lilith, they may just create a bunch of other Vault Hunters.
They could do, and I think that would be the best thing if they did.
I mean, he could be playing like a flak type, which is like a big... Like imagine
he
like
could
a
possibly
big,
voice Flak.
He could.
Flak's a bit monotone. Maybe Zero underneath the helmet.
He could be playing a Psycho.
Oh, okay, yeah. He would be a funny
interesting
villain for the Borderlands universe.
Yeah, he'd actually be pretty good.
I feel like he is Claptrap, but these other suggestions would also be good.
Yeah. Let's just.
He would make a great Psycho, wouldn't he?
Yeah, he'd make an awesome Psycho. Be so good. So there's also been another array of casting as well for the Sandman movie, which is live action series. It's
I was
going
about
to
to
be
say, is it a movie or a series?
Collider said it's a live action series, so I've not really been keeping up with this. I know the Sandman's more kind of your thing because you were really into the comics.
We talked about it a while ago, but we knew Netflix were working on something, but we've not heard anything since Joseph Gordon-Levitt stepped away from the project.
Yeah, so we have Taron Egerton.
Okay.
Reportedly has been added in, who kind of strikes me as someone that would probably replace Joseph Gordon-Levitt in whatever role he would have been doing.
It's entirely possible. He is quite a versatile actor, like we've seen with like Rocket Man and stuff like that. So
yeah,
definitely put him in like a big like swishy wig and a big cloak, and he could definitely be Morpheus.
Mm-hmm. You've then also got Boyd Holbrook, who you'd recognise from Narcos and the villain in Logan.
Yes.
We've also got Gwendolyn Christie.
Okay, cool. Okay.
And another guy who I don't recognise, so that's great reporting from me.
What's his name?
It doesn't say.
Oh, have you just got a picture?
I've just got pictures.
Do you want to send me a link? I might be able to.
Yeah, and then I'll carry on talking about the whole rest of the other casting that we've
doing
had.
The thing and doing the stuffs and the things, and
because I don't really know who these people could be playing. There's like little pictures next to him, and I don't know who they would be. Give you a second to receive that.
The guy on the left you're talking about, aren't you?
Yeah. Do you recognise him?
He looks like a younger version of
best podcast we've ever done.
Buffy.
Yeah,
looks like a younger version of one of the guys from Buffy.
Yeah.
I don't know if those pictures of potential casting that they've said? Like they said Gwendolyn Christie might be playing Lucifer.
Yeah, like
which that would be interesting casting.
Yeah, it'd be good.
And they're putting this other guy that we don't know who he is as Morpheus, which I feel like if you're getting Taron Egerton in, he would probably have the main role in it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
yeah.
Okay.
Interesting.
Next story.
Gwendolyn
Christie as Lucifer would be great.
Yeah, agree. And
Or is that Gabriel?
About it.
I think that's actually Gabriel.
Okay, I know nothing about it, but yeah, it'd be fine. Next thing is that there is a strong report coming exclusively from giantfreakingrobot.com. The Alden Ehrenreich will return as Han Solo in some shape or form. So basically, long story short, and why this is like such a important thing is that this come from the same scoop that Giant Freaking Robot got when it was about Josh Brolin returning to the MCU as Thanos. So, according to that, the source
was that before Infinity War? Was that for the Eternals?
That was returning. So that would have probably been for Infinity War, maybe after something like Guardians or something. So, yeah, I'm pretty stoked because I think when we spoke about Solo, I didn't think it was too bad. We were going to talk about sequels that we'd like to see, and Solo was actually going to be one for me. Spoiler alert.
All right. So he was originally signed up to a 3-picture deal, but obviously Solo performed so poorly.
Maybe he's still signed into that deal, but maybe they might have to make an amendment to it. So we mentioned
might be
about
like 3 properties.
Yeah, so you mentioned earlier about the Lando series potentially, the limited run of Lando. That'd be quite good if Donald Glover came back for that, and maybe just showing up in one of the other series as a quick cameo or something, just like a quick his adventure just collides with somebody else's. Maybe an Obi-Wan.
Because it would be around about the same time, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I guess so, because Han's quite a bit old. Is Han quite a bit older than Luke in A New Hope?
Yeah, he is a little bit older, but we know that Solo was before A New Hope.
Yeah.
And obviously Obi-Wan's taken place in that gap as well. It was after Revenge of the Sith and before A New Hope.
Yeah, be a cool
so it's in that 19-year gap, so...
Yeah, it'd be a cool little... I honestly didn't mind him. I think at the time that Solo came out, I think the main problem with Solo was just everyone was suffering from Star Wars fatigue, to be honest.
I think that, and I think it's messy production as well. I agree. I think he was fine as Solo. So I'd be happy to see him in something with a less tumultuous production.
Good choice of words.
Well, thank you.
Why, thank you.
I did feel good about that one.
Next story is there's a couple of... I think that's it in terms of casting. I think the only other thing that's worth mentioning, it coming again from Giant Freaking Robot, is that Marvel is rebooting The Punisher, but apparently keeping John Bernthal in the plans. So I think
they're looking of redoing some of the Netflix properties with maybe the same cast, like Charlie Cox coming back as Daredevil and stuff.
Well, he's appearing in... he's got a role in the upcoming Spider-Man film.
Spider-Man.
Multiple.
Spider-Man.
Which is exciting. I saw a really good, fan image of him sat in a courtroom with Tom Holland, and it being about his identity as it gets revealed at the end of Far From Home.
Yeah.
With it about, kind of the murder of Mysterio and stuff, so...
Definitely, I would love to see John Bernthal back. I think he was amazing as Punisher.
Oh yeah, he was so good, man. That whole series was amazing. I loved it so much.
Yeah, I haven't finished season 2.
What?
I just didn't get round to it. I was busy at the time.
And then it's good.
That was season 1.
Was it? Oh yeah, it was the end of season 1.
Have you watched season 2?
Yes, I have watched season 2. I have 100% watched season 2. I just that bit just lives on forever and ever for me.
So we want to talk about some Roos Loomers in the MCU.
Love a good Roos Loomer.
So this is a ruse rumor, but it comes from a very creditable source. So there's a guy on Twitter, or a pseudonym on Twitter anyway, called Roger Wardell.
Okay.
And he is infamous for like leaking Marvel stuff early and stuff like that. Like months and months ago, he put out a tweet saying that Wanda and Vision in the show would be posing as magicians, glamour and illusion to keep up the facade and stuff, which we found out in episode 2 is real. He revealed the time travel plot lines in Endgame. He's basically been on the money like months ahead of anything else for the MCU for ages. There's other famous examples, but I can't bring them to mind. I'm forgetting now. But he has said, Kevin Feige has said a while ago that he's interested in bringing Nova into it, but he's also like good at having like the short list of characters that are coming up. So apparently Nova and Storm from the X-Men are the 2 next biggest like heroes that we're going to see introduced.
Oh, okay.
So there's a potential as well. He's saying that we could see at least Storm in Thor: Love and Thunder. Which would kind of make sense, the whole Thunder aspect. But do you remember, was it last week or the week before when we talked about Marvel projects that are coming up? How I said in the Gore the God Butcher series, you end up with like a group of different Thors, fighting against him.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought maybe we'd have like Chris Hemsworth Thor, Jane Fonda Thor. There is a version from Battleworld, from the Secret Wars comic a couple of years ago, where they created the Thor Corps, which is like in this alternate Secret Wars universe that Doctor Doom made. Basically, it's like loads of different versions of Thor on a team together, and they're like the peacemakers. Okay. And in one of those versions is Storm holding a version of Mjolnir. And in the comic books and other versions as well, she's been tied to Asgard quite a lot, and at one point she ended up living on Asgard for a while, and Loki gave her a version of Mjolnir, or a version of Stormbreaker, called Stormbringer. So she has been linked to it in the past, so I don't know. Maybe we could see like a whole bunch of multiverse Thors, like, because this is going to happen a similar time to like Spider-Man and Doctor Strange and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Maybe this could be like the third part of like this big multiverse story. So instead of doing like the time travel stuff that's in the Gore the God Butcher storyline, maybe we could get a multiverse like Thor Corps all going up against Gore the God Butcher. So we could get like, I don't know, like Storm Thor. There's a version of the Destroyer, which is Thor. Throg you could maybe get in there.
Oh, that'd be fun.
Which was a joke that Matt Damon made in Ragnarok, and we know that Matt Damon's coming back.
He could play.
What if we had
different
Matt
versions
Damon
of Thor?
voicing Throg?
No. Yeah, I mean, he played. When I said 2 versions of Thor, I meant he plays Loki in that bit, doesn't he?
Yeah, in the performance.
Yeah. Oh my god. Yeah, he'd be a funny Throg. I think just having that on screen in general would be amazing.
Yeah. Also, with Nova potentially, with Guardians being in it, and we've got confirmation that James Gunn will be a producer on this, sort of guiding how the Guardians are used in this film, so that it ties in well with Guardians 3. So maybe they go to where maybe Xandar would have been before Thanos destroyed it. Maybe we get some sort of connection to Nova there, or maybe Nova is sort of introduced there and he's more in Guardians 3. But these are the big rumours coming out from Roger Wardell.
Very interesting. It's exciting.
Any other MCU news? We talked about Deadpool 3 last week, didn't we?
Mm-hmm.
Apparently there's Spider-Man 3 set photos which are linking Miles Morales in a bit more. A van that says Feast on, but I'm not quite sure how that links to Miles Morales, and I don't have time to read through 4 articles.
Comic book reference somewhere to do with that.
I think it says Feast and it has a location, so I think that might be sort of like where he lives in Brooklyn and stuff, maybe.
Mm-hmm. Right, so there are just a bunch of other bits of news. So the other thing is that the Walking Dead movie filming start date has been confirmed by Andrew Lincoln. That's going to start in spring 2021.
So we are getting the movie that we've heard about for a while.
Yeah.
And Andrew Lincoln's coming back. So
Yeah.
Rick is coming back.
Mm-hmm.
I don't fully know what happened to his character, but I don't think he died because I didn't see much about him dying. I think he just sort of left. So how is he going to come back into the fold with his other Walking Dead pals? And will it cross over all the different projects, like Worlds Away or whatever the fuck it is, Larger World or something, or Fear the Walking Dead? What the fuck's going to happen?
Well, spoilers for the end of The Walking Dead. I think it's probably going to be based on where he goes to in the helicopter. It's going to be something.
He leaves in a
about...
helicopter.
Sorry?
He leaves in a helicopter?
Have you not seen the end of The Walking Dead?
No, I said this. I said this literally 2 seconds ago. I don't know. I didn't know whether he was dead or left. I thought he just left because I didn't see people saying that he died.
Well, it's too late now. Well, if you're going to watch
Maybe
it,
we
you
find
would have
out that
watched it
this is
already.
all a crossover with a 28 Days Later franchise, and he's on one of those helicopters that goes over to Paris at the end of 28 weeks later.
And I reckon what will happen is he'll wake up in a similar way that he does in the TV show. But he'll be somewhere else. And he'll have a big door that says...
Don't dead open inside.
Thank you. I'm so glad you remembered that.
I said that yesterday to someone. I said, don't dead open inside, and I can't remember what it was.
Amazing. Yeah, I reckon that'll be... that's kind of going to be the vibe of what's going on, I reckon, so...
Maybe it'll say, dead open, don't inside.
Sorry? I was trying to visualise it and I just really struggled. The other thing is we got a quick look at some more Suicide Squad stuff. We got like a literally quick
6 second.
6 second interaction between Idris Elba's character, which is called Bloodsport, and John Cena's character, which is called
Peacekeeper.
Yes, thank you.
I'm here.
Literally. Literally 2 seconds of dialogue, but it kind of sets up a little bit of a tone for the film, which seems very
It's
James
definitely
Gunn.
Yeah, it's definitely James Gunn, very quick and witty.
Yeah, looks good. I'm excited.
What the first one wanted to be, but sorely wasn't.
Yeah, that's exciting.
Speaking of DC news, then Yahya Abdul-Mateen II. One of the best names in the world, up there with Giancarlo Esposito.
I always feel like you're dead happy with yourself when you nail the pronunciation of it.
The fact that I don't even need to read it and I can nail it now. It's like when you learn how to say anti-disestablishmentarianism.
Yeah. Or that place
or
in Wales.
That weather reporter. That's what I was about to say!
Yeah, that's because we've watched the same YouTube video today.
What YouTube video did we watch today?
The one that you linked in our Discord.
Oh, did you watch that?
I did, yeah.
I was talking about that in Wales, in work the other day as well.
In Wales? I was going to say, we're in a bloody lockdown, Chris.
That's how it ends, is goch, goch, goch. I know that much. Anyway, yeah, Yahya Abdul-Mateen II has confirmed that he is in preps and filming for Aquaman 2 will be starting soon. He's getting absolutely ripped again, ready to get in that black power armor with a big old stupid looking helmet, which we love.
Which shoots out a big old stupid beam of energy and
big beam bitches, big Atlantean beam boys. That's the name of our third podcast.
Anyway,
where we talk about all of our favourite lasers in films and TV shows.
Our favourite lasers in movie and TV. Godzilla definitely is up there with his big mouth laser. Anyway, in other DC news, big story that literally dropped today of recording, so Friday, if you're listening to this. The Snyder Cut gets a release date, and it's going to be March 18th, which is literally 6 weeks away.
Oh, I can deal with that.
It's nice and close. I'm glad that they've not said bloody July or somewhere like that. March is not far and not much of a wait at all.
I know there's a lot of stuff online wondering whether it would reach this release schedule, because it had sort of gone quiet on when it was coming out, and we heard that it was meant to be first quarter of 2021. but it'd all sort of gone a bit quiet on release dates, and we were getting up to like we're almost in February now, so the first quarter is like nearly halfway done. But yeah, still coming in March.
Isn't it weird to think that this is finished now? Like, we always knew there was a Snyder Cut, and we knew that it was happening, but isn't it weird to think that it's actually done, and they've actually redone that movie?
Yeah. So
Crazy.
apparently, like,
It's a big film. It's not a TV series.
Yeah, it's a 4-hour film. Woof.
Big old film.
Don't drink much water before you watch that.
No,
so
you can,
Snyder
because you're going to
tweeted
be
out-
at home watching it on HBO Max, so you can pause it.
Nah, but you know, sweaty fanboys ain't gonna pause it because that'll ruin his original vision if you ruin the pacing with a piss break in the middle.
But what about if you just watch it on the toilet?
Do it like fucking Chromecast it from your phone to your TV, so then if you want to go for a piss, you can just Chromecast it back to your phone, take it with you while you go take a hot dump for 10 minutes, and then you go back.
Right.
So Snyder tweeted out the 3 posters that we've got, which say Fallen, Risen, and Reborn.
Ooh.
So this is like, you've got Justice League logo, which is all smashed up. Then you've got the Justice League flag, which is all torn up in like what looks like the apocalypse future. And then Reborn Reborn is like
Not
2
Rebirth.
film reels
That was
on the
that-
floor.
That was the answer to that question that you got
I
wrong.
know. You'll never let me live it down.
Never let
So it's like it's a film reel and a film case with Snyder's name written on it. It's like the Snyder Cut. So it's like the original film was in ashes, it was ruined, and then like the fans picked up the banner and they rallied and they stuck the flag in, and now we're finally getting the rebirth, the reborn Snyder Cut.
Wait, who's that in the distance? Chris, just look. Who's that right over there? I think is that a Suicide Squad flag that I see?
Is that David Ayer's Suicide Squad?
Is that a baldish man with a bit of a facial hair who's waving that around?
Is that David Ayer? Is he the only one asking for this?
Oh, sorry. I don't know whether he's still bald, but there you go. I don't know. I feel like that's probably the next thing. I think that you don't do this once to like never do it again. Like, all right, we're just going to do this with Snyder Cut. It's like, you may as well. You may as well, right?
I feel like this was the linchpin film for the DCEU, though, whereas like Suicide Squad very much wasn't, and they're very much moving away from it.
Yeah. Okay, fair enough.
Like, if we've discussed this multiple times, if the Snyder Cut does well, they could reboot the DCEU and follow on from the Snyder Cut, whereas they're not going to follow on from Suicide Squad, clearly.
But there's all this bloody, all these behind-the-scenes photos now. You're getting an extra tiny look at Jared Leto, and, he keeps retweeting some stuff from Jared Leto, and he's, I don't know.
He's doing the... Anyway, one last little bit of DC news. Michelle Pfeiffer, or Michelle Pfeiffer, if you want to give her a proper name. Even though Michelle Pfeiffer is a much funnier way of saying it, has said that she would come back as Catwoman in the Flash movie if they ask her to.
Yeah, that's cool.
I'm always happy to see Michelle Pfeiffer back as Catwoman.
Oh, sorry, I'm nodding.
For no reason. I feel like you paused for me to explain.
No, I was nodding because I didn't know how to follow that up, so I was
yes,
audibly nodding.
She was meant to get her own Tim Burton film back in the day.
What, like a Catwoman standalone film?
Yeah.
Big old universe, eh?
Could have been.
Right. There's a couple of really big stories this week. There's like one or
Go
two.
ahead.
And one of them isn't that Bebo's coming back. The first big story that we should probably talk about before we move on to the other big story is
that the Habbo Hotel's coming back as well, yeah.
Is Habbo Hotel coming back?
No, it's just with you mentioning Bebo.
Hotel Penguin?
Those two things go hand in hand. Club Penguin?
Club Penguin. I said Hotel Penguin.
Oh, I didn't even hear what you said.
Anyway, the first one is if you've been sleeping under a rock over the last like 48 hours, or sorry, it'll probably be more like 76 hours. whatever.
72 hours in 3 days.
72 hours. 86 hours. No, 96. Anyway, last couple of days.
4 days. Just say 4 days.
Basically, there's been some crazy stuff going on with stocks and shares recently.
Stonks.
Basically, Reddit has been going crazy. There's been mass manipulation of the stock market, and I don't use manipulation in like I'm staying unbiased against it. You know what I mean? Like, it is what it is. We're not in any way at all financially conscious enough to be able to talk about stocks. I have them, but I don't. I have like bloody like essentially. I've only just got 3 figures in them, so not a lot. So I'm not in a position where I can really talk about whether it's the right thing to do or the wrong thing to do. But
also, we are not giving professional advice or anything. We are not people in the market. We are not professionally trained. Don't trust anything we say. But
basically,
listen to our opinion.
We're idiots. We have an opinion. Don't trust us. So basically, something happened with GameStop's stock. That's a bit of a hard tongue twister. GameStop stock. GameStop
Stonks.
Stonk. Where basically a giant amount of people on Reddit / Discord got together to basically inflate the price up and absolutely just make a load of money on it. Essentially, they've done the same thing with AMC, but there's a lot of stuff where obviously AMC was in big trouble because of COVID. We spoke about this like probably not long ago, but this is kind of like a lot of news reports are coming out saying that it's probably saved it from bankruptcy until everyone decides to sell the stocks.
And then it could plummet again and go bankrupt.
Well, this is the problem, innit? Because what if some people don't? And they've invested in, or what if they've done something with that investment now that allows, I don't know how it works exactly, but what if they've maybe had that investment and they've been able to kind of save their ass a little bit? It's almost like a little bit weird. It's like people have done it for like a selfish reason, but if it's got them out of bankruptcy, I'm sure that people wouldn't you've not got out of bankruptcy knowing that people are gonna, because right now basically on some platforms you can only sell those stocks, you cannot buy anymore. So if you can only sell the stock, then surely you're going to be aware that stonk. Sorry, I need to get the pronunciation right because we're not financial advisors. I have no idea what we're talking about. So basically, if everyone sells their stonks, then I don't know what happens. I don't understand it. If you're clued up with stocks, let us know how it works. 'Cause I'm quite interested whether or not this has actually saved AMC or not.
I kind of hope it has, because AMC is one of the biggest cinema chains in the world. Mm-hmm. They've got cinemas in multiple different countries, so being able to keep them open would be fantastic. And if it's like a group of like nerds on Reddit that's done it, just kind of like warms my heart a little bit. It's just that like, fuck the big men that could have actually done something. We'll take it amongst ourselves to do something.
Yeah.
But this whole situation has just been fucking laughable. Like, I love the fact that people on Reddit were organized enough to affect the market in such a way, like GameStop became like a Fortune 500 company.
yeah, exactly.
But it just, the fucking American Congress on this entire situation just boggles my mind, like how hypocritical they are, and they want to put in further restrictions so that this can't happen again. It's like, sorry, are other people making money and manipulating the market, and it's not you for a change? Oh, what a shame.
Yeah, it's hard because this is one of those things where there will be people out there who aren't part of the government and stuff that would have invested heavily into AMC. Just people who would have made that choice and stuck with it. And I think this is what I was talking with you and Richard about the other day. There's going to be some genuine people who believed in things like GameStop and believed in things like AMC who would have had their investments in there.
Yeah.
And it's a shame because obviously for those people, I mean, it's not a shame right now because those people, their bloody investments rocketed up. So the clever thing probably would be for those people to sell. Obviously, I don't know what the best thing to do is. I'm not giving advice. But, if you don't and then it drops further than what it was before, then for people that just genuinely believed in those companies, it's kind of a bit rubbish. But it totally depends on what side of the fence you're sitting on from like a personal situation with this. Damn right, stick it to the man. But yeah, I guess it's a bit of a hot, sensitive topic at the moment, I think, because it obviously was a big Reddit thing, and it was just like, let's just, make some money and do it because we can, and we're a united force, and if you could do it, why the hell wouldn't you do it? Kind of thing. And if, and technically, I don't know where it sits technically wise, like, if people just do decide to do that, then, it's just a group of people deciding to invest the money, really, isn't it? It's just hundreds of people and thousands of people all doing it at once. It's just so odd. But the big point of us talking about this isn't because it's stocks, it's because of AMC. So, more cinemas, the better, I guess.
I can hear doors opening. Maybe my pizza's here.
Well, we've got to wrap up then with our last topic.
Pizza
because
stonks.
You know what that pizza will taste like, Chris?
Oh, what will it taste like?
5 stars.
Oh.
But we've only getting 1 star coming soon, Chris, which is the Star service from Disney Plus.
Oh, Jesus. You took me on a journey then. I didn't know what was going on.
Well,
so
I can hear your belly rumbling from here. Let's talk about
Is
Star.
this the 18 plus or the service for Disney?
So I don't think it's the 18 plus service. I think it's just... So there was a big kind of... there was a big image of Star which had tons and tons of films and TV shows in it. Now I've got a massive list of stuff here, but what I think Star basically is it's taking the stuff from FX, Hulu, stuff like that. And it's giving you a way of watching it on Disney Plus for people in the UK and stuff like that. So the TV show lineup for Star on Disney Plus at launch has been revealed for the UK. I'm just going to pick a handful of these because there is a hell of a lot. Atlanta, which is the Childish Gambino series.
Yes.
You've got some classics like Bones, Buffy the Vampire Slayer, depending on what you're into, Desperate Housewives, Family Guy, Grey's Anatomy, How I Met Your Mother's going to be on there, Modern Family, and then there's a couple of films coming on as well. So again, just literally scrolling down some of the big ones that were on the image. You've got Bad Company's going to be on there, Braveheart, Casanova.
You've got the Die Hard movies on there, Prison Break, Alien movies.
Yeah.
So what this seems to be as well is, because obviously they bought other studios and they got Fox and stuff like that as well. So this is, it's not necessarily 18 plus content, but it's stuff that's not really Disney suited. So it's like an additional thing on top of there. So it's all like the Fox properties and all the stuff that they got licenses to show, like Alien and stuff like that. That you're not going to aim towards kids. So probably on like the kids version of Disney Plus is going to be locked off. Yeah. But it means that you've got access to those things because Disney doesn't want to have them on other streaming services. Because I think you could actually get Star on Amazon Prime. I think if you paid an additional membership on top, I think you could get access to some Star things a while ago.
Yeah.
But this sounds good. Like being able to watch Alien on streaming and stuff like that. And like you said, Atlanta and stuff.
Yeah, and a lot of the information we've got around it right now is mainly for the UK. So obviously it launches here on the 23rd of February. And it says that your Disney Plus price in the UK is going to increase from $5.99 to $7.99 per month because you're going to get access to all that content. Now, I don't know what side of the fence you sit on with this, but I would have kind of have liked the option to maybe opt in or opt out of Star. So, like, if you wanted to have a increase, because I really got Disney Plus for Star Wars, Marvel stuff, to be honest with you. I've not really got it for anything else. And right now, WandaVision will keep me on it and the other Marvel stuff that's coming out. Up until, obviously, then The Mandalorian comes out, etc., and all those start going. But I don't know whether I would have really wanted to have paid the extra £2 a month for something like this. Just because I'm not really too bothered.
I think, like you, it would have been better if, like, you got the option. It's still cheaper than Netflix,
but you still think the problem. Sorry, just before you move on to that, well, just so I don't forget, yes, it's cheaper than Netflix, but you're also paying for Netflix and probably Amazon. If you're like me, you currently got Netflix, Amazon Prime, Disney Plus, and I've also got a cheap deal on Now TV. And it adds up, you know what I mean? So even though it's only £2 and you add that on top, it still, percentage increase wise, is still like a relative amount.
Yeah, I think definitely like they should have given people the option, but I think it also depends on how much content's being added, as to whether the £2 a month is worth it. Like if there is a load of stuff on there, then like a lot of the stuff that's going on there won't be on Amazon Prime anymore, and you could like certain people might choose to get rid of other subscription services in favor to pay this. Like if you get rid of Amazon Prime, you're going to save what, £10 a month? So you're only paying £2, so you're saving like £8 and getting all this new content and stuff like that. So I think it all depends on how much content you get and like how regularly new content gets added. I do think they should have said like opt in, opt out first of all would have been the big thing. Like, because like Netflix has put its prices up steadily over the last few years. I know when I started getting it, I think it was $7.99 like years ago, and now it's for the version that I've got so that you can watch in 4K. It's
for more screens.
It's
and stuff.
£12 a month.
Yeah, that's it.
That's gone up £4 itself. So,
and I know Disney's just it's getting people on the platform at the minute as well. Like it's just it's still relatively new as far as it goes, and I don't think it's sustainable. Literally, just having sustainable is the wrong word. I don't think it's going to keep people on the platform by literally just releasing Marvel and Star Wars stuff all the time. Like just because you're going to have breaks where people will probably cancel and then be like, oh, when Falcon Winter Soldier starts, I'll start it up again and stuff like that. And I know they've done the calendar so that doesn't really happen, and there's always a new episode or something coming out. But
I think this is definitely, like you said, it's for viewer retention more than anything.
It's so you don't have to have anything else. I think it's turning it now that it's got those people on for the Star Wars fans and the Marvel fans, and also the animation fans. It's now about how does it get another audience, and I think this will probably pull a lot of the people, like you said, from Amazon Prime. I don't think it will really pull from Netflix because Netflix originals are pretty good at the minute. But yeah, it's an interesting move, and obviously they want somewhere where they can put all the Fox stuff, the 20th Century stuff, and the FX stuff, and the Hulu stuff. And
well, that's another thing. They're trying to get return on investment for essentially what is a massive backlog of back catalog that they bought when they bought 20th Century Fox.
Yeah.
Like, they've got all these franchises and stuff now, and it's like big franchises that the people want, so they can now start to get some return on investment for buying the company. And I think it is like, I think they've in like the US and stuff, it's rolling in Hulu and stuff as well. And I guess Disney have owned Hulu, so
additionally, I guess all the new, the FX announcements and stuff that happened at the investor call, I guess those other bits like the Alien stuff will probably launch on here as well, I'm assuming. Yeah. So
probably.
Yeah,
that'll be massive. I think it's definitely like it's trying to cement itself. It's weird thinking that Disney Plus has been in the UK for a year now, but it's definitely going to like cement itself as one of the biggest streaming services as opposed to like diehard Disney fans. I think at the moment it's mostly Star Wars fans and Marvel fans that are on it.
Yeah.
For that original content. But like you said, it's going to be sporadic whether people kept up the memberships. Like, you probably saw a big drop-off between Mandalorian Season 1 and Mandalorian Season 2.
Yeah, exactly, because not much really. We didn't have any Marvel properties at all during that time.
No. But now we've got... Yeah. Now we have Mandalorian Season 2, we got Wanda, we got Falcon Winter Soldier. You've got enough to keep more people interested rather than just the back catalogue of Disney properties.
Yeah, for sure.
Because you can burn through that. Like, this isn't even Disney's first streaming service. Like, they pitched it as if it was, but they had Disney Life beforehand, which was like a smaller service. Yeah. But I don't remember if it was like worldwide or what. But I know it was in the UK. And like, I had a free trial for that for a month, I think it was. And I think I watched almost everything on there. like in terms of the Disney classics and stuff like that, and some of the newer Mickey Mouse cartoons and stuff like that. I went through and watched like most of that in like a month's free trial. So like a Disney diehard will burn through Disney Plus pretty quickly. So
yeah, because
you
Disney
need this new
Life,
content.
Disney Life only got discontinued on the 23rd of April, so it was actually on for quite a while.
It was just sort of like under the surface. I think that might have originally been run. I think they were in a deal with maybe the company that like the umbrella company that owns Netflix and stuff. I think I remember seeing that somewhere in the past because it was very much laid out, very much like Netflix and stuff as well.
Interesting. Very, very interesting.
So, yeah, hopefully it's got good programming, and also it's bringing a lot of shows from the US to UK audiences. Like Atlanta, I think did air, but it was on Sky Atlantic, which Sky Atlantic you need to pay extra for on top of your TV packages and stuff like that. That's where like Game of Thrones aired and stuff, so a lot of the UK didn't get that either.
Mm-hmm.
So like it's bringing these shows to like the rest of the world, and especially to the UK, so it's going to make it easy to watch Atlanta. Loads of different shows like that, all the Fox properties, like you said, the new stuff that they announced at Disney Plus, loads of franchises, so the Die Hard franchise, Alien franchise, yada yada yada. They've got full rights to show like all the X-Men stuff and everything. I think it's going to work out well. They should have definitely offered people like, do you want to pay the extra £2 or not?
But I guess it's better than Netflix just turning around and being like, we're just hiking the price up. At least there's kind of something to show for it, at least.
Yeah, like that's bothered me in the past where it's just like, oh yeah, we're adding like an extra £2 on, and I'm like, why?
Yeah.
You're not giving me anything extra.
I guess, like, not like indirectly, the content has got better on Netflix. So I guess it's swings and roundabouts. I just like the way that they've done it and done this announcement at the same time as Star. I guess that's the best way they could have done it, because imagine if they had announced Star and then, well, they didn't say that it was going to go up anyway until now. But I guess now that they've gave you more details of what is exactly going to be included on it, and then we said, okay, we're also, because of all this content, we're going to hike the price up by £2 a month. And it's a bit like just makes it a little bit easier to swallow. I mean, not like you're going to miss £2 a month, but it's just the fact that they're hiking up the service. You'd be annoyed if it was your broadband, home broadband, or your phone bill or whatever anyway, put it that way.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it is annoying that it's gone up, but it's whether you get that £2 worth of content out of it. Hopefully for like someone like me and you, there will be enough on there.
Well, I'm going to keep it anyhow, so it's there for the Marvel stuff. Right, I guess that's it.
You could maybe get rid of your Now TV.
Well, once my sweet little deal on that's ended, which I think's in like a couple of months, I'll probably cancel that.
Yeah.
So, anyway, that's probably it for the week. That's the end of that smelly news dump. I've got the shovel and shoveled it out, haven't we, between us? We've done all right.
I need to get him a little kitty litter tray or something.
Kitty litter tray. We'll make it out of old Blu-rays that we never watch anymore. We'll build it like
I've got 2 boxes of them right next to me. I'm going to get a spray bottle, so when he tries to do it in the house, I'll squirt him, like direct him towards the back door, and just like, no, you go out there.
It's funny because I imagine like Roos Loomer is actually like a person, but he just acts like a dog. He's a furry, really, I guess, isn't he? This is getting weird. Let's wrap up the episode because you've got pizza to eat. Right, thank you very much for watching. Make sure you check us out on the socials. GetRealPod@gmail.com. You can check out our other sister podcast, Get Real Gaming. Those guys are really good. Richard and Lawrence talk about gaming news every single week. It's a good place, good time, and Chris will tell you how you can support the podcast.
Best way to support the podcast, rate and review on whatever podcast network you're listening to us on right now. Subscribe to us on Spotify. If you head over to Podchaser, leave us a rate and review on there. It'll send it to everywhere else, apparently. So that, like, just leave one there and it sends it to everyone. That's the big one. Like, go to Podchaser. Also, share us with a friend. Share us on your Instagram story. Every time a new episode goes live, there's a new social post on Instagram and stuff. Just click that little paper aeroplane thing. Just put it on your story. Just anything like that. Tell 2 friends about us. That's the best way to support the podcast and help us grow. Yeah, thank you so much for listening to this big old dump on the carpet. But I hope next week we're definitely going to have a subject, whether it's long-awaited sequels like it was meant to be this week, or maybe The Dig, or what was the other thing that you said came out? I feel like something else might have
The
come
White
out.
Tiger.
White Tiger.
That's it.
Yeah, maybe. It'll be one of them. But thank you for listening. And we'll see you in February.
See you.
Will this be coming out on the 1st of February?
I think this will already be out. We'll see you sometime this month.
Or next month. I think it's
knows?
this month.
No, okay, right.
I think it's going to be February.
See you next week. Bye, everyone. Bye.
Time is hard, man.